When I heard of Men in Black International with Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, with F. Gary Gray directing, I thought this movie had a lot of potential. I thought the trailers were alright, but you know what? I was still looking forward to seeing these two leads in a brand new rebooted universe of Men in Black, still taking place in the same world as the previous films, but new characters, new adventure, new aliens, a bunch of new stuff, and this movie was really disappointing, guys. It is not that good at all. Now, with any movie, you know, it's not perfect, but it's also not complete trash. There are some good things about this movie, and I will start off with Tessa Thompson, who I think is a star. She is fantastic in this movie. Ever since I saw her in Creed, you know, I think she was a rising star in that movie, and she got her side role in Thor Ragnarok with Chris Hemsworth, which was absolutely incredible. Their chemistry in that movie is fantastic, and when I heard that they were together in this movie, it made me so excited because, you know, Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith together was perfect, and I thought this could be a really good reintroduction into this world with these two brand new characters, and I think for the most part, their relationship in this movie is what works best. And of course, we all know that Chris Hemsworth can also lead a movie, especially with his Thor franchise, as we all know, so he and Tessa are perfectly capable of leading this movie, and like I said, they're the best part. They're the only good part, really, because everything else surrounding this movie is so extremely mediocre that it hurts. So the plot of this movie is that Tessa Thompson's character finds the Men in Black organization in New York, and, you know, she discovers them. She's the only person, it took her 20 years, but she's the only person to ever find the Men in Black on her own, and so she's inducted in, she's being trained, and now she is working with Chris Hemsworth in this mission to, you know, go find this guy in London and protect him. And obviously, as we all know, things go wrong and we have our movie. So what went wrong with this plot? Well, let me tell you how generic it is. Everything that you think will happen in this movie happens. About 15 minutes in, I just thought of the entire plot of the movie. I said, all right, this is going to happen, then this, and this, and this, and this. And there were a couple of different, you know, locations along the way. But for the most part, everything that I imagined 15 minutes into the movie happened. It is completely predictable, and it has nothing new to add to this world. And what I think is the biggest crime of this movie is that this world does not feel earned. It does not feel like it's the continuation of the world that we fell in love with in the first 1997 movie. Now, the original Men in Black is so weird and unique, you know, with all these different alien creatures and the, you know, the style and everything with this movie. And it has a little bit of that, but for the most part, it's not, I'll be honest, it's not weird enough for me, which is strange to say, but this movie just lacks all uniqueness that the original ones had. And when I say original ones, I mean all three of those movies have that same tone and feel of that, you know, weird, wacky story and this weird world that they live in. And this one just feels, it just doesn't feel right. And there are a couple of cool aliens, but for the most part, not a single one is memorable, besides Kumail Nanjiani's little pawn guy, who I thought was fantastic. I wish I got to see more of those little like chess piece people, but those were pretty cool. And there's this one beard alien, which I thought was pretty cool, but for the most part, all the aliens were just, you know, not as creative and as inventive as the original. Especially like the villain character in the original was so creepy, with Vincent D'Onofrio playing that character with the cockroaches and all of that, just was really unsettling. The villains in this movie are quite literally faceless, so you don't care whatsoever, and it's just, they're not threatening at all. And again, these villain characters are something that we've seen before in actually two different franchises before it. So it's just, it doesn't feel new or fresh at all. And when your Men in Black movie has one important alien creature who just looks like Rebecca Ferguson with an arm sticking out of her back, it's not creative or inventive at all. It's so bland. And I think that's the best way to describe this movie. This movie is soulless and bland, despite the two incredible leads who do their best job at trying to carry this movie. But for the most part, this entire story is so incredibly generic, and it's so frustrating when you see this movie. You know, it has potential. It has so much potential with these actors in this world that is so rich with mythology, but it just doesn't fit right in. It doesn't work, sadly. Now, we need some good movies, guys. We've had 3 bad ones in a row with Godzilla, Dark Phoenix, and now this one. It's just, what happened to this summer? We were on such a roll, and now we've been hit with this. But luckily, Toy Story 4 comes out next week, so make sure you guys subscribe to the channel to check out that review, and also comment below what you thought of Men in Black International if you saw it. Obviously, I'm not recommending you guys go see it, but if you're a Men in Black fan and you want to torture yourself, go check it out. So thanks, guys, for watching. Make sure you guys check out my next review, and I'll see you all then.